What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Tigers Den podcast. I am your host, Big C Got Game. Before we get started, you know what we got to do. Smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new. And don't forget, hit those links down in your boy's description. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Big C Got Game. And make sure you hit that bell, man. Join the Noti Squad and get up to date when your boy is uploading. So our Tigers are 6-1 coming off a win over the University of Louisiana Lafayette. 28-23 was your final. You talk about a nail biter. It looked like we were going to pull away in the first quarter, and then it just went downhill after that. The offense just looked terrible. Phil Alston had his worst game as a Tiger, 9 of 17 for 110 yards, 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions, and a fumble that led to a score for the Raging Cajuns. He was just off all game. I think the Raging Cajuns zone really affected him, and 9 of 17 is not acceptable. But our ground game is what kept us in the game. Charlie Brooks had a huge day, 21 carries for 164 yards and 1 touchdown, and Will Higgins went off, 15 carries for 141 yards in the score. Austin, as you see, didn't really do too much this game. We rely heavy on our two backs, and they carried us through this game. As you can see, we rushed the ball for 305 yards combined between these two running backs. And because Austin had a bad game, our receivers had a bad game. But shout out to Malik Rout. He had the 1 touchdown. Higgins and Gunn led the way with 3 grabs, and Clark had 2 catches. Now, the G-Man defense, I am very proud of them. They held the Raging Cajuns out of the end zone a few times down on the goal line. There were at least 3 goal line stances that just were amazing by the defense. Josh Carey again led the way with 8 tackles. Dearius Christmas had 7. Brandon Varner 5 tackles and a sack. And then John Nichols had an interception. And we'll get back to John Nichols in a second. But big shout out to the defense. They kept the option game contained for most of the game. The only time they really let up is through like a couple of fluke passes downfield. Bridgewater had another rough day. There were a couple plays where he just misjudged the ball. One play he let Regis get behind him, and I don't know what he thought he was going to cover, but Regis ran right past him. But he did make the touchdown saving tackle. Back to John Nichols. This kid had a huge day. 5 returns for 206 yards and a touchdown. He took a kickoff back 102 yards. Not to mention he had an interception and a couple of big tackles on defense. He's starting to show why he is our cornerback number 1. Diving into the stats, it was pretty even across the board, except for first downs. Grambling led the way with 29 first downs. Total offense, ULL outgained Grambling State in total offense thanks to 238 yards of passing. As you can see, inside the red zone, the G-Men's defense came up big, holding ULL to 1 touchdown and 2 field goals on 5 trips. We put a bow on Week 8 and check out your top 25 polls, and Stanford is your only undefeated team in the top 10. They beat Notre Dame 45-35. Washington moves up 2 spots to 2. Michigan moves up 2 spots to 3. Oklahoma moves up 2 spots to 4. And Alabama jumps up 3 spots to 5. Missouri falls to 6th after losing to Florida 40-28. Florida State falls to 7 after losing to North Carolina State 38-14. NC State moves up 5 spots to 8 after their win over FSU. Ohio State still sitting at number 9 at 4-2. And Florida is up 6 spots to 10 after beating Missouri. But as we scroll down even more, we see that Grambling State finally cracks the top 25. They're in at number 24. And Nebraska gets up there, or Nebraska falls 11 spots after losing to Purdue, holding on to the 25th spot. Taking a look at the conference standings, Grambling State is running away with the Sun Belt. They're sitting at 5-0 in conference play, 6-1 overall. Next up is Arkansas State. They're sitting in second, 3-2 overall, 1-0 in the conference. And the race for the Heisman, things are still looking the same. Bo Scarborough still sitting on top, even after a weak performance against Arkansas, where he only had 11 carries for 55 yards. Keller Chris moves up to number 2 spot on the voters list after a huge day against Notre Dame, 28 of 36 for 455 yards and 4 touchdowns. Charlie Brooks, our freshman stud running back, sits third after his performance against ULL, 21 carries for 164 yards and a touchdown. Tony Jones Jr., he's injured, so his stock is starting to fall. And Ryan Finley from NC State rounds out the top 5 for the Heisman. He finished his game against Florida State, 14 of 23 for 254, 19 carries for 79 yards and a rushing touchdown. So it's time to hit the recruiting trail and welcome the newest member to the class of 2019. Meet Robert Clemens, a 5'10", 196-pound athlete from Oakdale, Louisiana. He's coming in as a 67 overall, but he is going to see a lot of playing time his freshman year. This kid can play both sides of the ball. I can see him as a corner or a running back. He could play both sides, getting some playing time his freshman year. To the top of the board we go. The league continues to grow for defensive end Marvin Goff. He has really taken a liking to Grambling State, putting Alabama at a distant second. We are in a battle for big tight end Rob Bradford from D.C. Notre Dame is starting to take a slight lead, but Grambling is still holding on for the fight. Wideout Clint McCoy, he is close to signing with the Tigers. Our league continues to grow over North Texas. The league continues to grow for athlete Jermaine McConnell, the 6-foot, 4-star athlete from Oregon, has really taken a liking to Grambling State, and Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, and Florida, all SEC teams, are in his rearview mirror. The battle for Marcus Atkins is heating up. LSU has jumped out to a little lead, but Grambling State is going to continue to fight for this 4-star corner. The battle for Ron Bennett continues to heat up. The 4-star corner has taken a liking to Grambling, but Missouri is still pushing to land the cornerback. We're in a battle for 4-star corner Tyrell Williams. Right now, USC is his number 1 team, and LSU is close behind. We know we're in for a fight, and hopefully we can land this 4-star corner. Joel Thomas, the athlete from Louisiana, is close to signing with Grambling State. Our league continues to grow over Virginia Tech. Corner Kyle Green is taking a liking to Grambling State as well. Our league continues to grow over Mississippi State. Guard Otis Allen from Louisiana is close to signing with Grambling. Our lead is growing over Alabama and Navy. Defensive end Richard Maynard is excited about Grambling State. He has put New Mexico State and ULL in his rearview mirror and is focused on the Tigers. Grambling State is the number 1 team on Joe Brown's board. The outside linebacker has Tulane and LSU in his top 3, but Grambling leads the way. That's going to do it for recruiting this week. As you can see, we're in a few battles. Hopefully, we'll be able to land a few of those stud cornerbacks. So we move ahead to week 9, what might be our toughest matchup in the Sun Belt Conference. We're taking on Arkansas State. Right now, the Red Wolves are sitting at 3-2, opening up against wins over Idaho and FCS Northwest, then going to Arizona State and taking an L, and then losing to Arkansas the next week, then coming back and beating the Zips 24-7. The Red Wolves this year are led by senior quarterback Justin Hansen. He's completed 86 of 161 throws for 1,413 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. But he's most dangerous outside of the pocket. He's handing the ball off to junior running back Jamal Jones. He's carried the ball 63 times for 337 yards and 2 scores. And his backfield teammate Warren Wan, the speed back, 5'5", 194, carries the ball 47 times for 238 yards and 2 touchdowns. And as we said before, Justin Hansen is a dangerous runner too. 47 carries for 160 yards and 1 score. Now, the passing offense for Arkansas State is dangerous. Kendrick Edwards is the lead receiver in this offense. He's got 43 catches for 753 yards and 5 touchdowns. Omar Bayless is second on the team with 15 catches for 236 and 2 scores. And big tight end Donnie Williams has 10 grabs for 146 yards and 1 touchdown. Look for Kendrick and Nichols to match up all game long. On defense, the Red Wolves are led by Trent Ellis Brewer. He's got 36 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and a sack. Taji Chambers is a middle linebacker, second on the team with tackles with 33 tackles and a half a sack. But we have to keep an eye on big right end William Bradley King. He leads the way with 5.5 sacks, 14 tackles for loss. Also, Raheem Bingham is another pass rusher we have to keep an eye on. He's got 3.5 sacks, and left outside linebacker Caleb Bonner has 2. In the secondary, Darian Jackson has 2 interceptions on the year, while Trent Ellis Brewer has 1. This is going to be a fun matchup, and Herb Street is rolling with Grambling State. So it's time to head down to Jonesboro, man. Let me know what you guys think. Who's going to come out on top in this game? Do you have the Red Wolves or the Tigers? Leave comments down below, and I'd love to hear from you guys what you guys think about the new recruit to sign with the Tigers as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're brand new, and don't forget hit those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram at BigC.Game, and we will talk from Jonesboro, Arkansas as our number 24 ranked Grambling State Tigers get ready to take on the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.